All right, thanks, Kent. Appreciate everyone being here today. Kind of the unofficial kickoff to the season. Take a few moments to recap Sunday's exhibition game at Central Florida, and then feel free to fire away with questions. Was really pleased. Number one, I think the rule change is terrific for college basketball. I wish we could play 3 or 4 of those Division I exhibition games like that. I thought getting to go on the road for our players was really important. Get into the routine of how we prepare on the road, team meetings, all those small details that I think are really important. But as for the game, I thought from an individual standpoint, phenomenal performances from DJ Thomas, running the point, 16 points, 9 assists. You look at Mike Nwoko, I think you saw a skill level, not only the lobs that he caught from DJ, but several really nice jump hooks there in the post. And then Markel Sutton shooting the ball well from 3. 10 defensive rebounds in 29 minutes is hard to do. I thought he was fantastic. And overall offensively, I thought shot the ball well from 3. We made 10 of them at 44%. And as you would expect in an exhibition game like that, a lot of things we want to clean up, improve as we have another week here before the season opener. 15 turnovers, 10 in the first half. Was hard to watch, and we have to improve that. But I thought our first half, the transition defense and our three-point defense was not good at all, but it was much improved in the second half, which gave us an opportunity to win the game. So, our players took a lot of confidence from it. UCF has a really talented team, so it was good to get that win on the road, even though it was just an exhibition game. And now we get to get back to work this week, preparing for the opener next Wednesday night. So, great experience and really fired up for the start of the season. Love to fire away, Glenn, you with the first question.
Yeah, I guess I had to go back and dig in the archives, but I don't know how many lineups you've had that have been bigger than the one you guys tried out in that scrimmage there. Just what did you like about, Markel at that, 3 wing spot, and then just the overall size that you guys can now maybe throw your weight a little bit around a little bit more?
Well, it was intentional in how we constructed our roster back in the spring, Glenn. Markel, with his versatility, he's almost 6'9" and 230 pounds. In this league, you have so many big wings at that 3 position, and he's worked so hard. He shot the ball well from 3 in the conference portion of his season last year. He's a relentless worker, lives in the practice facility. He goes 3 for 5 from 3, so he helps us stretch the floor there. But then, we talked about the rebounding. As you know, this is the best rebounding league in America, so it was really important for us to identify that, especially in the transfer portal. But I liked it. I think the other thing I would touch on, Jalen Reed, that was the first time he's played in a game in 11 months, and he's worked so hard to get back. He's expecting to perform on his first day back as he did in his 21-point, 13-rebound game against UCF a year ago, and just has to understand it's going to be a process. But, Rob Miller was out with a foot injury. He'll be back in practice today, another 6'10" body. I just think, it's when you study the SEC, you have to have size and physicality up front, and I really like what we've been able to do there.
When it comes to rotation, I think you played 9 guys against UCF. Is that the number you want to reach, as well as I think Ron Zipper didn't play? Can you explain his?
Yeah, sure. Well, from an availability standpoint, Rob was out with the ankle. Ron Zipper had missed about 7 days of practice with an illness, so he's working back from that. Don't have a set number. I think the players get to determine who plays by their consistent performance in practice. I do like the depth of our team. But I think it's important to establish a fairly consistent rotation, and that's what these first 5 home games in November will go a long way for us in determining that. But I think, it was 8. When you look at P.J. Carter was the 9th man in that game, played 5 minutes. So we had a pretty consistent rotation there. Obviously, when Rob Miller gets back, he'll work his way into some time there as well in the front court.
With Didon and Mike and the other bigs being able to run the pick and roll, how does that open up kind of the rest of the offense that maybe hasn't been there the last couple of years for you guys?
Well, I don't know about the last couple of years, but I think what you saw there in Sunday afternoon's game, was because of DJ's ability to get in the lane off the dribble, his craftiness using the ball screens, the pressure that Mike put on the rim as a roller. It spaced the floor really well for us and opened up those open catch and shoot threes. We're 6 of 10 there in the second half. I think it really improved our shot quality. Also allowed us to get to the free throw line. We got there. I think we actually made more free throws than UCF attempted, which is always a great thing. And so I think the physicality we're able to play with around the basket, surround those guys with excellent three-point shooters, allows us to have the floor spaced in an efficient manner for us, with DJ able to orchestrate the offense.
What can people expect to be different from the guards this year?
Again, I would just you look at DJ Thomas's performance on Sunday, and that wasn't just a one-time deal. He was the Mountain West Freshman of the Year at UNLV, a two-time All-Mountain West player, one of the top leagues in the country. I just look at him as an elite point guard. He's a floor general, makes everyone around him better, which I think's the ultimate compliment to a point guard. I think the perimeter shooting consistently is going to be important for us at the 2 and 3 position, that we're able to stretch the floor. We have more size on the wing, but I think we can shoot the ball more consistently from behind the three-point arc, which hopefully opens things up for our size in the front court.
Yeah, Coach, I know you mentioned transition defense getting better in that second half, but in general, with the lineups that you're able to play, like you mentioned, the size, just what do you like and what did you see, especially in that second half against UCF?
Well, I think the offense put our transition defense in some bad spots in the first half. We turned it over 10 times. We only shot 40% from the floor. So we were in some scramble situations more often than we would like. But I think you saw the improvement there in the second half. We got to the free throw line 15 times, which allows you to set your transition defense. A lot of that's because of the size and physicality. We didn't rebound the ball as well on the offensive glass as I think we're capable. That continues to be an emphasis for us. The pressure we can put on the offensive glass also protects your transition defense. So those will continue to be emphasis points for us. But ball security is the number one key there. The first half we turned it over 10 times. We scored 29 points. Second half we cut that down. We only turned it over 5, and we scored it 46 points. So, just ball security and taking care of every possession is going to be important for us.
Yeah, Coach. Is there a certain trait or skill with this team that is maybe surprising you so far, or something that you could pinpoint as to maybe that y'all are ahead of schedule in?
Yeah, great question. I think the challenge in this new era here, 12 of our players are new. One is coming off a season-ending injury, and the other was one of the youngest players in all of college basketball last year. So my answer to you would be how quickly they've connected as a team. I think the summer was huge for our guys. We did a lot of things with intention to build the chemistry of the team. I think we have an older, more mature team. Last year our average age was around 19 and a half. This year it's 22 years old. And we try to be intentional in the portal there. So just the connectedness of the group. I think we have, really high character people in our locker room that want to impact winning here at LSU. So it's been really refreshing and a joy, to coach this group here to this point.
Coach, to go back to the game over the weekend, you guys shot it, I want to say 43% from 3. I know you talked about the emphasis on the shooting from your guards this year. Last year, you kind of lived and died by the 3. How do you find that healthy balance between taking three-point shots but also getting your big men involved?
Well, that's the way we've built our roster. It's the way we've built our offensive and defensive systems for the team this year. I think you start, it's like in football at the quarterback position, you start at point guard, and I love what we were able to do there. A facilitator, also capable scorer, but a guy who really has elite court vision out there and is a willing and unselfish passer. Then we immediately went to our front court to get the size, the physicality, the toughness you have to have in this league. And then you want to surround that by excellent three-point shooters to have that right balance on the offensive end of the floor. And, obviously they'll start to get tested here next week, but I was pleased with the balance Sunday of getting the ball in the paint, shooting it well from three, and also winning the battle at the free throw line.
What kind of growth have you seen from Jalen Reed? I think you mentioned how he took guys on visits when they were, I guess, looking at the campus. Has he been more vocal or just sort of been more of a leader?
Well, first off, I've told you this before. His recovery and rehab journey has been it's inspiring to me. I mean, this guy from the day he came out of surgery has been all in on getting better. He is not only physically, but his mindset. He's really grown in that regard. I think he sets the example as a leader for our team in the locker room. The biggest challenge for him right now is just having to understand this is a process. You're not going to come back from the injury he had and be at the same level on day one. So it was great for him to get that exhibition game. He's about a month and a half ahead of schedule because of the work he's put in. And so he just needs to stay the course, stack days, keep getting better, and you'll see the improvement as the non-conference season wears on.
I think we know that Didon's going to have the ball in his hands a lot when he's on the floor. And, I guess my question is kind of the secondary playmakers that you want to see kind of emerge when, maybe he's not on the floor, when he doesn't have the ball in his hands. Is there a couple guys that come to mind, and then just how do you get the most out of them in that respect?
Well, really confident in Jalen Reese coming off the bench at the point position. True freshman, but really good decision maker and passer. I think he'll be very good for us there. When you look at the wings, Rashad King's a guy who really played as a point guard last year at Northeastern, so I think he can be another secondary playmaker. Also, Max McKinnon is a guy who's been a 4+ assist a game type player throughout his career, 2-to-1 assist to turnover guy. And then our forwards. I think our forwards are really good passers. So I think we have multiple options there besides just playing through the point guard position.
Yeah, Coach, bringing Rashad off the bench and just his kind of versatility on the wing, how much does that give y'all in terms of what y'all can do with lineups and just different things?
Well, Rashad's worked really hard since he got here. He's gained about 15 pounds of muscle in the weight room. Coach Chapman's done a great job with him there. But he's lived in the facility as well. His three-point shooting, he's shooting over 50% from three in practice. You've seen that in both our scrimmage and exhibition, that he shoots it well from behind the arc. And that's one thing, I know you and I have talked about this before. How do you evaluate in the portal the different levels, the different stats, what's going to translate? He's got, I believe, was in the low 30s from three last year. But if you look at his catch and shoot threes, he was around 38%. And those are more of the threes that we're going to take. And so just his ability to give us immediate scoring at that either 2 or 3 position has been really important for us.
Coach, you have a lot of newcomers on this team. Only one played in the SEC of the transfers. One played in the SEC last season. You've said numerous times that the SEC is the most physical league in the country. How important was it for Coach Chapman to get the guys in the weight room, gaining muscle, gaining weight, just getting more physical so they're ready for when you get into conference play?
Well, that was huge for us, and Coach Chapman does a phenomenal job. And our players have worked extremely hard. I mean, we've got a group, they've been relentless since they got here. P.J. Carter's gained 15 pounds. Rashad King, I can go down the line of guys who've really put in the work and developed there. Mike Nwoko, obviously, he started 32 games last year in the SEC, so he knows what it's about. But that weight room's so important, not only in the offseason, but as we go through the grind of the SEC gauntlet, that you stay not only from a physicality, but injury prevention. And Coach Chapman, he's a mad scientist in there. He's got that figured out.
Anything else, guys? All right.
Yeah, I'll close just by inviting everyone out. Starting a week from today, November 5th, we have 5 home games in 17 days to start the season. Want to have a great atmosphere here in the PMAC. It's a loud venue. You're going to love our team. These are selfless, high-character people, proven winners. They've really done a great job of working this summer and fall. They take great pride in representing LSU, and I can't wait to see you at the PMAC next Wednesday night. Thank you.